Good morning, Cincinnati. My name's Gary Rossignol, Cincinnati's only rock and roll realtor. I have with me Bill from Dragonfly. He'll be coming on later on this morning. My main guest this morning is Richard Cox. He's the owner of Al's Comfort Technology, previously known as Al's Heating and Cooling, but it's ACT, ACT. Act now, call Al's. How's that? You like that?
That works. I like that.
Act now, call Al's.
Yeah,
all right.
It's a verb. It's a verb.
we're gonna talk to Rich. There's Dan. He's taking care of the controls.
Good morning.
Once he found his key.
Once I can get in here.
Once we got into the place, at least we're not locked out like we were about a month ago. Oh my gosh, that was horrible. Anyhow, stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. We got a lot of stuff coming up. Miles already on. Jane's on watching. Thanks, Jane, for tuning in with us. We're getting thumbs up from folks already. It's going to be a fun show, so hang in there with us. I'm going to plug you into the studio feed.
To try to work out a deal on the spending bill, ABC's Maggie ruling.
Waking up to be gone. Down, even with a day full of meetings between top lawmakers and the president yesterday. At midnight last night, there was still no deal reached. Now, the main roadblock is over Dreamers, the nearly 800,000 undocumented immigrants brought to the U.S. as children. Democrats say they won't pass a spending bill until they receive guaranteed protections, but Republicans say there's no rush on this legislation.
Organizers of this year's Women's March are expecting another huge turnout today like they had last year. Some 250 women's rallies and marches scheduled.
AccuWeather meteorologist Courtney Spamer. A milder start to the weekend today, increasingly cloudy with some afternoon drizzle, but a high of 47 degrees. Areas of low clouds and fog tonight with some drizzle as the low drops down to 39. For tomorrow, we'll see areas of fog and drizzle in the morning, but cloudy and mild the rest of the day with a high of 52. A bit of rain on Monday, otherwise cloudy and breezy, a high of 52 degrees in the afternoon. I'm meteorologist Courtney Spamer with your AccuWeather forecast on 1480 WDJO.
The following is a paid program. Its views and opinions are not necessarily those of this station or its management.
Good morning, and welcome to the Rock and Roll Real Estate Hour starring Gary Rossignol of RE/MAX Preferred Group. To be part of the program, dial 513-563-1480 to get your answers to questions about your home and property. That number again, 513-563-1480. Now, here's Gary.
Hey, good morning, everyone. You're listening to the Rock and Roll Real Estate Hour with your host, Cincinnati's rock and roll realtor, Gary Rossignol with RE/MAX Preferred Group. Our purpose here on Saturday mornings is to bring you interesting thoughts and lots of music. I love to bring you entertaining guests, so this morning I have a friend with me. He's no stranger to the show. Many people consider this man an expert in the field of heating and air conditioning, and he's also an avid investor, too. Yes, sir. I'm proud to call him friend, Mr. Richard Cox with New Brands, Al's Climate Control.
How you doing, Gary?
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
It's Al's Comfort Control.
Al's Comfort Technologies.
Comfort Technologies, that's it, yeah.
Act. You got the act part right.
I do. You're getting a standing ovation already this morning.
Oh, wow.
We got the crowd all warmed up for you. Great. Later on the show, we're going to have Bill Kerrigan. I'm sorry. I had a brain part right there. Yeah, yeah. So Bill Kerrigan, he's going to be on with us a little later, talk about the Dragonfly Foundation. But first and foremost, let's talk about those Bengals.
Oh.
Rich here is a Bengals diehard.
26 years, perfect attendance.
Local or
home game. Every home game for 26 years. Never missed one.
That's impressive. Very impressive.
And our goal is to see every stadium with the Bengals. We've got, I think, 5 more stadiums left.
On your bucket list?
Yeah, my bucket list. My wife and I, yeah. One of them being Philly. So.
Well, maybe this year you'll make it out there.
I think Philly's 2020, but we're going to make Seattle next year, I think, and Atlanta. So,
yeah. Well, you know, it's admirable to have somebody that's that one of my best friends, he's a diehard Bengal fan, too. He's had season tickets forever, and last year we went to a bunch of games with him, and, you know, it's you got to. You know, you're a Cincinnati fan. You're a Cincinnati born and raised, right?
Absolutely, and I'll tell you, there's nothing like having a pro sport in your town. I mean, I've been in cities, lived in cities with my parents.
Win, lose, or draw, we got it.
You got to support your home team. And professional sports and college sports, they all have their place, and we're lucky enough around here to have them both. So,
And speaking of college, you've got couple kids in college, don't you?
Actually, no, they're all out now.
They're all out.
They're all
okay.
out. Yeah, I'm not broke anymore.
They're all gone. Isn't it neat when you get them through college and now they're doing what they like to do, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. They're all on their way and having babies and having grandbabies now.
Wow,
so
how many do you have?
I've got 4 and 1 on the way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
love of my life, I'll tell you. Yeah.
Yeah, our oldest, Brianna, she's she's a graduating senior at Oak Hills this year. We just read she's on the honors list. She's in the top 10 of her class.
Oh, wow.
And she's going to Eastern Kentucky State University, majoring in medical. She wants to be a pediatrician surgeon.
Oh, wow.
And she's minoring in music.
Wow, that's ambitious.
Yeah, it is. She's an ambitious lady.
Yeah, I hope you have fat wallets.
My grandson, he'll be a sophomore at Oak Hills, and he plays saxophone.
Oh.
And he's a honor roll student, too. My youngest just turned 9 months old.
Really?
Brindley, yeah. She's a joy. We get to watch her 3 or 4 afternoons every week.
Wow.
So that makes our world.
Exactly. I love little ones. I'll tell you, it's when you get older and you realize that they're just a blessing. So.
I've got a drawer in my desk, and it's full of pens and pencils and stuff, and she loves to sit there and pull them out and look at them. I said, that's a red one, that's a black one, and she'll bump them around and throw them on the floor. And she'll pull out a couple more.
Yep.
That's Brindley's drawer. We need nobody else can get in my drawer and do that but Brindley.
I'll tell you, one of the best toys that we ever got our boys was I'd bring home furnace boxes from work.
Oh, yeah.
And I just stood them there and cut a hole in a window, and they'd play in those things for hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can buy all the fancy toys, but they'd rather have the pot holders and the lids and those type of things. Yeah.
Exactly.
Funny.
Exactly.
Funny. So, yeah, you've been a Mason forever.
Yep.
You've been on the board of Mason.
I'm a past council member. I've been a couple other boards.
So you're the reason why it grew so much.
No, no, we were there before it grew. So, but yeah, it's a great little town. It's right in the right place.
So this is a real estate show. Let's talk a little bit about investments. And I know you're an avid investor, like I told in the beginning. You own 25, 30 single-family residential homes in the Mason area?
Yep, 37 commercial and residential, yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So what advice would you give someone who wants to get started in the real estate investing world?
Joking, don't do it. But it's
been good for you.
It's been good. It's been good.
You do it right.
Well, I've been lucky. I will tell you, if you think you're going to buy a house and you think you're just going to rent it out and make money, it's not going to happen.
Mm-mm.
I have what we call an ant army. I have my guys at work, so it works out well for me. Where when my guys are slow, I have things for them to do on the property, so it works out for me. If you're doing it on your own and you think you're going to just collect rent every month and that's not it's work. It really is work. Now it's rewarding. You can make some good money at it. I'm not going to lie about that.
You have a reputation because you have people waiting for you to buy another house and for them to rent.
I actually have 2 houses right now. One that I've purchased in March, but because I haven't had time to completely finish remodeling it yet. And I've already got a waiting list I've got 4 people that have said they wanted it.
Yeah.
And I've got one right now that in fact, I haven't even told you about it yet that I'm thinking about buying next week. So,
okay. Well.
But yeah, people know that I rent, I fix them up. That's it. I'm not a slumlord. There is a difference. Yeah. You have to invest in them and take care of them. And when you do that and you have reasonable rates, then people will rent from you.
Would you recommend somebody getting into the investment world to do single-family, multifamily, or apartments?
Well, my niche is single-family or duplexes. That seems to be my niche because it's harder to take care of single-family homes. It takes a little more time and labor. It's a little more labor-intense. If you're wanting to do it for investment money, 4 families, 6 families seem to be the way to go. You're dealing more with the rent than you are repairs. Mm-hmm. So that seems to be more.
Yeah, if you have one vacancy in a 4-family, you're only a fourth.
Yeah, and if you amortize them correctly, you could be 25% unoccupied and be fine. Now, with the way I do it, I can't be. I have to be within 90% occupied, and that's the way I've run my business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you buy a lot of properties. You don't sell a whole bunch.
No, we've tried to sell one, but that was because it's an oddball property. So
we're working on one right now.
That's correct.
So what's the big difference between being a buyer or a seller?
Buyer, you need to know properties. You really need to know a lot about the construction of the property. You want to know foundations, roofs. You want to have at least a 80% knowledge of that building before, so you don't have to pay a third party to come in, because then that's just profit that you don't have.
I love this guy because we go into a house that needs a lot of work, and in about 15 minutes he can wrap it up, and he knows exactly what he's going to pay, and he's not afraid of the old oil furnace that's in the corner that's rusting out, of the water heater or the electric system that needs work, and the plumbing, because he does it all.
Yeah,
he does it all. And those things really stop most other investor buyers or buyer buyers from buying a house.
Right.
And doesn't faze you one bit.
No, I don't know how many times we've walked into one, especially like the ones in Kings Mill that we walked into, that the guy had bought it and had paid a low price for it, put some paint on it, and thought he was going to sell it for $5,000 or $50,000 more. And I'm going, no, that's not the way it works here, guys. You got to do the electrical, you got to do the plumbing, you got to do all underneath that driveway. There were a lot of problems. And a leaky oil tank, and that right there's an EPA problem. People don't understand that. Well, I happen to be licensed, so that's one of my pluses. Well,
and that house is off the market now.
Yeah, I know. I don't think it was going to sell right. So.
We made them a righteous offer, and they're holding. Well, whatever.
And that's another thing. A lot of people think that property is worth a lot more than it is. That always gets me, Gary. And I don't want to hurt people's feelings. I've had people say, "Hey, somebody told me I can get $150,000 for this or whatever," and you're biting your tongue saying, "No, you can't." You're looking at. You got to look at what the property is worth, stripped down with nothing in it. That's the first thing, and then you have to remember when you take things out of it, you're adding labor and money. So where I don't have to pay a third party, that's where I save that 30%. So, but yeah, you got to be careful.
Right. We do have a trivia question this morning, so ladies and gentlemen, get your pencil and paper out. Write this number down, 513-563-1480. And going along with the flavor of the show, which you'll find out later on in the show, but name for us your favorite one-hit wonder, either a song or a group or both. Tons of them.
Oh, absolutely.
One-hit wonder. And just call 513-563-1480. You'll earn yourself a $10 gift card to Starbucks, our favorite coffee joint. A cup of Joe or a couple cups of Joe on me. If you can just name for us your favorite one-hit wonder. And, Bluestone Ivory, we love playing one-hit wonders. One by Spiral Staircase, More Today Than Yesterday is one of our favorite one-hit wonders.
Yes.
Big hit. There's been a bunch of big hits. There was a group right out of Oxford, Ohio, that made it big.
I know who it is, too. I'm looking at their singer.
Their song was huge. In fact, other artists re-recorded their hit song. We don't want to give that one away.
Oh, no.
But anyhow, I also like to take this moment to express my gratitude to all the troops, veterans, and first responders. These are the men and women who selflessly strive to keep our nation and city streets safe and free. Either one of you veterans? I know you're not a veteran.
No, I'm not a veteran.
Okay. Do you have any in your family?
Lots, yes.
Many?
Yes.
Okay. We'd like to give our hats off. If you're out and about and you see somebody in uniform, give them the thank you sign from afar. Go up and shake their hand. Pick up their tab if you're in a restaurant, whatever. Just let them know that we love them, we admire them, and we thank them for their service, because it is very selfless and very giving that they do for us so that we are safe and free. We do need to go away for our first break. When we come back, a moment with Miles, and we're going to talk more about heating and air conditioning stuff. How are you going to save money with your utility bills?
Oh, big subject.
And and Rich is the guy that can help us with that. So stay tuned. You're listening to the Rock and Roll Real Estate Hour on 1480 WDJO Cincinnati.
Kick off
Al's Comfort Technologies is a small business with a big heart. Al's Comfort Technologies has serviced Mason and surrounding areas since 1958. Service is not just in their name, but it's number one in their minds. Al's Comfort Technologies, new fancy.
Hey, Cindy, Marla's watching, Anthony, Karen, Joe, Jane, Tom, Britt, Ruthie, my daughter Jen, she's watching, Maria, Teresa.
Wow, a bunch of people on today.
Oh, I know.
That's great.
That is cool. Very cool. Love it. Tell your friends and family. By the way, you folks can get the $10 gift card. Just call 563-1480 and tell us your favorite one-hit wonder, either a song or a group. I'll plug you back into the studio feed.
Owner of Save Discount Drugs in Covington. At Save Discount Drugs, our focus is filling your prescriptions quickly and accurately with low pricing every day. You can count on speedy and professional service at Save Discount Drugs. Your prescription is usually filled in 15 minutes or less. If you have high deductible insurance or no insurance at all, our everyday low prices on all medications can really help you out, including select antibiotics for just $1. That's right, $1 antibiotics. Give us a call at 859-431-2857. Call and compare. See how you will save precious time and money at Save Discount Drugs. We're located in downtown Covington, 4 doors north of the Madison Theater at 716 Madison Avenue. We have free parking behind our store and a convenient back entrance. Save Discount Drugs, proudly celebrating 35 years in business. 859-431-2857. 431-2857 or online at savediscountdrugs.com.
Proverbs 31:31. Give her the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates.
Carrots from the Earth has spent over 30 years crafting the perfect carrot cake. Each carrot is hand-selected for color and quality, then minced so finely that once baked is as fluffy as a cloud, topped with cream cheese frosting, perfectly distributed. So savory, so heavenly, you will have to have seconds. Carrots from the Earth gourmet carrot cakes, made with passion, prayer, and love. Order yours today. carrotsfromtheearth.com.
Get on. Let's rock the house.
Hey, we are rocking and rolling this morning, ladies and gentlemen. You will not regret staying with us. I'm your host, Gary Rossignol, with RE/MAX Preferred Group, better known as Cincinnati's Rock and Roll Realtor. And now, the moment we have been waiting for.
So I'm sailing for tomorrow, my dreams are dying, and my love is an anchor tied to you, tied with a silver chain.
That's his favorite music, and that is none other than the captain of our ship, RE/MAX Preferred Group, Mr. Miles Beersford. Good morning, Miles.
Good morning, rock and roll, my friend. Hey, Gary, all real estate agents are business persons who need to be aware of risk management. There's no way of knowing what is going to happen in the future or to be conscious of something we are unaware of. This is the crux of risk management. We should all be prepared for unforeseen circumstances. The author, Nassim Taleb, tells us, if you want to get an idea of a friend's temperament, ethics, and personal elegance, you need to look at him under the test of severe circumstances, not under the regular rosy glow of daily life. In other words, the normal is often irrelevant. The key to risk management is to consider potential risks and proactively plan a strategic response in advance of the event's occurrence, rather than simply react when these events do occur. And that's this morning's Moment with Miles.
Wow, that is deep. That's good stuff.
Really deep.
He always comes in with some great stuff. Thank you, Miles. I appreciate that. It's been a couple weeks since we've heard your tantalizing voice here on the radio, but we appreciate that.
Have a great weekend. Stay warm.
You too. Thanks, Miles. He is the captain of our ship. He is a avid sailor, him and Christine. They've got a sailboat.
Oh.
Yeah, nice sailboat.
I love to sail.
And, no motors, just the not the pirate type ship, but the fun type of sailing boat, yeah. Very cool, very cool. I love being at Remax Preferred Group. Christine and Miles take very good care of us. Insightful thoughts like that. They give a lot of good educational opportunities for us. Us seasoned agents, been around for a while, always learn. You got to always learn. You never stop learning. So later on in the show, we're going to have a short visit with Bill Kerrigan. He's a Dragonfly Foundation board member. You don't want to miss that. Next week, my guest is going to be Doug Reisenfeld and Steve Walls with Rivertown Title. We have a lot of regular listeners each week, and I'm so happy and grateful for each and every one of you. Keep telling your friends to tune in and come on Facebook. Thank you very much for coming on Facebook. Tons of people watching. We have Mr. Richard Cox. He is the owner of Al's Comfort Technologies. That's 398-HEAT, H-E-A-T, 4328. 398-4328 is his phone number. If you have any questions about your heating and air conditioning system, and I can only say the best advice I can give you is call Rich this week, call his office, and set up for your yearly service program. Absolutely. It's only $190, and what you get for that is they come out twice every year. They service and clean your air conditioning system.
Yep.
They service and clean your furnace.
Yes.
When they walk out that front door that when it gets cold out, we are so grateful to our new windows and our furnace running shorter, less time, keeping our home nice and toasty. It's just wonderful. And I know that because your guys came out, serviced it, said you're good to go. Yep. It's a 20-some-year-old furnace, but they said it's a champ.
If you take care of them, they'll last 25, 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, most of them will. If you don't take care of them, you're looking probably 10 to 15. So, it makes a big difference. And I cannot stress upon people the most to change that filter, especially with the extreme temperatures that we've had in the last couple of weeks. It may not have already been a month. I guarantee you it's dirty. It's ran that much. Yeah. So replace that filter often.
And they have those real high-efficiency things that get all the microbes and whatnot, and those just restrict your furnace from operating properly.
You have to change those more often or clean them more often, depending on what kind you have. We've gone to now where we've been recommending the 4-inch wide filters instead of the 1-inch wide because, you're like anybody else. I'm sure you don't think about changing that filter every first week of the month.
No, I change it every 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, and a lot of people they get
the
busy.
Little $3 ones.
Yeah, that's fine as long as you do it every month or month and a half.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you, so many people forget, and that's just like putting a blanket on top of on your furnace. It just it stresses them out. And I will tell you, though, Gary, you were talking about the $197 customer service plan that we have. One of the things that people don't realize is not only do we come out twice a year and clean your furnace once and your air conditioner once, but if we ever have to come back, the $85 service call is waived. Mm-hmm. So you have peace of mind saying, hey, I already paid $200 this year.
Right.
Why would I pay you another $85? Well, we guarantee we won't have to come back. If we do, we'll give you the service call for free, and we're also going to give you 20% off parts. So
20% off parts.
20% off parts. So if you got a $500 motor, hey, the $125 is a lot of money.
And if anybody calls you and says they heard you on the Rock and Roll Real Estate Hour, you'll give them a $10 gift card to Starbucks too, right?
That's correct. I'll give it. Yes, we will. We will give them a $10 card. We have our own cards too. We would give those. We have $20 cards that we'll give out if you mention that. So
okay.
Yeah, we would do that.
There you go.
We're all about maintenance and preventative maintenance. So you don't have. Don't wait for it to break down.
Right.
Take care of it early. It's a lot cheaper earlier than it is later. And trust me, my guys have been working 70, 80-hour weeks. And once you get to a certain point, you can't go out anymore. And you run out of labor power and you run out of time. You're just out of luck.
This is your season.
Oh, it is. It's the first. Everybody has to remember this is the first time we've had weather like this in 15 years.
Yeah. Right.
So it's putting a lot of stress on furnaces. So
513-563-1480. Come on, folks. I want to give away a $10 gift card to Starbucks. Just name for me a one-hit wonder song or group or both, and there's a ton of them out there. Just to give you a little clue, Who Let the Dogs Out?
Oh,
That was a real popular song. And they never made another hit song ever,
Yes.
you know?
Well, I'll tell you, I can tell you one of my wife's favorites is the Archies. So
Yeah, Sugar.
Sugar. That's a big one for her. But I will tell you, I have a lot of friends that are from high school that have been listening today. They got a hold of me early on Facebook, and even the ones from Alabama. Jeff, come on, you can call up here. It's no big deal.
513-563-1480. You folks on Facebook, that's open to you too. Just pick up your phone, unless you're watching us on your phone, but you might have to exit out for a moment. You can always come back. 563-1480, and just tell us your favorite one-hit wonder. We'd love to just share that on the air. We can keep your name anonymous if you'd prefer that. That's okay, but we just want to give away that $10 gift card to Starbucks. So you're the heating expert, and what is the best type of heating system? Now, you have a home, and you have probably one of the better HVAC systems in your house. Or if you had to do it over, would you do it differently?
I would do it exactly the same. I'm a big fan of dual fuel, which is gas, oil, or either propane, natural gas, or oil backed up that back up a heat pump. So you get the best of both worlds when it's.
Now, people say, "Oh, I don't like those electric heat pumps. It blows out cold air."
Yeah, that's usually temperatures below freezing, and you would be backing yourself up with a warmer source like gas or oil.
Mm-hmm.
You will save yourself a lot of money by doing dual fuel. It's a little bit more expensive. It costs about $1,000 more to put that system in than a regular air conditioner and furnace, but you will save yourself 30 to 50% of your heating and cooling bills.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yes.
What about those new? What do they call them?
Geothermal.
Geothermal.
I'm not geothermal is a heat pump. Most people do not realize it. It's a heat pump.
It just uses the ground.
It uses groundwater instead of air source, which is the air outside. The problem with geothermal is that you never recover the cost of the investment
unless you're building a new house, and that's something that they offer when they build the house.
It still never pays for itself, Gary.
Really?
I'm sorry. You can by the time those things are 20, 25 years old, and you've put $25,000, $30,000 into that, I can tell people. I tell them right up front. I can put in a air source dual fuel heat pump system, high end, top of the line for under $10,000. And if you've got a $25,000 geothermal and you save $100 a year, that's all you're going to save different between mine and that.
That's 25 years before you get,
you're never going to pay it back.
Yeah, right.
You're never going to pay it back. So it's just what you're investing and what you're getting. So,
yeah. Now, there's a lot of good HVAC companies in town.
Oh, absolutely. Tons of them.
What's the best way to pick? You're on Angie's List and Better Business Bureau and all that stuff.
I tell people be very reluctant, be very the Google and all that. Be very careful because there's companies out there that are sabotaging other companies, and so your best thing is look for an established company that's been around at least 10 years, or your best bet is to know somebody that has been in the business. Now, don't get Uncle Joe's friend that's out of a station wagon. That's going to get yourself in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
But reputable companies, there's a reason they're licensed in the state. You want to make sure. In fact, a friend of mine just brought that up today, wondered why his friend that does cars that didn't have to be licensed, and I do. Well, actually, you do need to be licensed to work on any AC unit.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't matter.
My next question.
Car, refrigerator, anything. You have to be licensed in the state of Ohio.
Okay,
So,
I did not know that.
Yeah, there's four different classifications. There's universal, there's cars, there's refrigeration, and there's HVAC. I'm universal. I'm one of the 5% that got the universal. But it's not an easy test to take. It really isn't. So.
Okay, so. It's often said that newer furnaces don't last as long as some of the older ones.
That is a kind of a loaded question, Gary. It is true. They do not last as long because people don't take care of them like they didn't. You get a 1972 Williamson, it's a big old tank, and
they never die.
They never die because, there's this big chunk of metal and they're very inefficient. Well, the more efficient, the thinner the metal, the thinner the materials, and more plastics being used, and that happens, and computer boards. The boards don't last like the old relays do. So, but if you take care of them, like I said, $197, you'll get 25 years out of one.
That's Richard Cox, Al's Comfort Technologies, 398-HEAT, 398-4328. Call him this week. And he's got a $20 gift card. He'll throw in a $10 gift card from Starbucks if you just call him and have him come out and do the service. And I can vouch for it. I've been having them out for the last 3 or 4 years, and we had so much comfort knowing that my HVAC system works.
Well, and if something goes wrong, you can call me, and I'm not going to charge you to walk in the doors.
Right, exactly. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Rock and Roll Real Estate Hour on 1480 WDJO Cincinnati.
Why rent when you can own with no money down? If you're looking to become a first-time homeowner in the Cincinnati or Northern Kentucky areas, or heck, even if you haven't owned a home in the past 3 years and are now looking to buy, you may be eligible to receive up to $15,000 in homeowners assistance towards closing costs, pre-closing expenses, or even your whole down payment. That's right, you can own your own home with no money down. Find out if you qualify. Call Gary at 513-777-2402. That's Gary at 513-777-2402.
A car show in January? Yes, it's the Butler County Swap Meet and Car Corral. Saturday, January 20th from 8 till 4 at the Butler County Fairgrounds in Hamilton, Ohio. The indoor and outdoor swap areas will feature all kinds of unique and vintage auto parts, hard-to-find manuals, garage items, beer and soda collectibles, plus models and toys. That's the Butler County Winter Swap Meet and Car Corral.
Ken, you're watching. My daughter Amy's watching. David. Another David. Tammy's watching. Hey, Tammy, we'll probably see you tonight for dinner. TR Cox. Skylar says hi. Hi, Papaw.
Hey, Skylar.
Maria, Cindy, Anthony, Karen. Boy, we got tons of folks watching this morning. That's great. Thank you for watching. I want to plug you back into the studio feed.
Zinn's Plumbing, you'll always know what the cost will be before they start. They bill on a flat rate basis instead of an inefficient hourly billing system. Zinn's state-of-the-art trucks carry thousands of parts to complete your job with no needless delays. Well-trained professional plumbing technicians and courteous customer service are the hallmark of Zinn's Plumbing. It's a local family business proudly serving Greater Cincinnati since 1976. They can probably schedule your appointment today. Give Zinn's Plumbing a call at 681-2501. 681-2501. Zinn's Plumbing.
Welcome to Mount Healthy Auto Body.
Howdy, they call me Crash. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Had a little accident, need some body work.
Well, you've come to the right place. Crash.
Oops.
That's okay. Say, why do they call you Crash?
Heck if I know.
From minor touch-ups to major mess-ups, the name you need to remember is Mount Healthy Auto Body. 521-8600. Mount Healthy Auto Body. Precision collision repair since 1930. 521-8600. Come see them at 1595 Madison Avenue, 1 block north of the Ronald Reagan Cross County Highway in beautiful Mount Healthy.
With AccuWeather meteorologist Courtney Spamer, a milder start to the weekend today, increasingly cloudy with some afternoon drizzle, but a high of 47 degrees. Areas of low clouds and fog tonight with some drizzle as the low drops down to 39. For tomorrow, we'll see areas of fog and drizzle in the morning, but cloudy and mild the rest of the day with a high of 52. A bit of rain on Monday, otherwise cloudy and breezy, a high of 52 degrees in the afternoon. I'm meteorologist Courtney Spamer with your AccuWeather forecast on 1480 WDJO.
Oh, I could hide. Today is January 20th, 2018, and here's what happened on this day, down through the years in music history. On this day in 1976, the Monkees TV show was shown for the first time in the UK. The series followed the adventures of 4 young men, the Monkees, trying to make a name for themselves as rock and roll singers. They went on to sell more than 75 million records worldwide and had international hits, including Last Train to Clarksville, Pleasant Valley Sunday, this one, Daydream Believer, and I'm a Believer. Wow. In 1968, one-hit wonders, John Fred and the Playboy Band. Remember them? They started a 2-week run at #1 on the U.S. singles chart with Judy in Disguise with Glasses. The song was inspired by the Beatles' Lucy in the Sky. And on this day in 1969, Led Zeppelin appeared at the Wheaton Youth Center, Wheaton, Texas, during their first North American tour. Some reports suggest that only 55 fans attended the show. If so, this would make it the smallest attendance they ever played to. The show was on a Monday, and the night of Richard Nixon's inauguration. Zeppelin was paid $250 to appear. Today in 1982, during an Ozzy Osbourne concert in Des Moines, Iowa, a member of the audience threw a bat onto the stage. Stunned by the light, the bat laid motionless, and thinking it was rubber fake, the singer picked it up and attempted to bite its head off. As he did, this bat started flapping its wings, and Ozzy soon realized it wasn't fake, but was a real living thing. After the show, Ozzy was immediately rushed to the nearest hospital for rabies shots. Whoops. Today in 1988, the Beatles were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. George Harrison, Ringo Starr, and Yoko, Sean and Julian Lennon all attend. Paul McCartney did not attend, sending instead a letter stating that continuing business differences with the other ex-Beatles was the reason for his absence. Here you go. 1997, Ben & Jerry's introduced Fish Food, a new flavor of ice cream named after the rock group Phish, P-H-I-S-H. The ingredients were chocolate ice cream, marshmallows, caramel, and fish-shaped fudge. Today in 1999, Bill Alba, drummer from a 60s psychedelic group, the Lemon Pipers, died at the age 53. The Lemon Pipers, who were from Oxford, Ohio, scored the 1967 #1 single, Green Tamarine. The song has been credited as being the first bubblegum pop chart topper, and it also is the first U.S. #1 hit for Buddha label. How about that? Listen to this for a moment. Love this song. Yeah. Born today in 1945, English singer, songwriter, and multi-instrumentalist Eric Stewart, who with the Mindbenders had this 1966 single, Groovy Kinda Love. With the Hot Legs, the 1970 Neanderthal Man, and as a member of 10cc, the 1975 #1 single, I'm Not in Love, plus 10 other top 30 hits. He also collaborated with Paul McCartney extensively in the mid-80s, playing on or co-writing songs from McCartney's solo album, Tug of Wars, Pipes of Peace, Give My Regards to Broad Street, and Press to Play. So here's hoping you had fun with my music trivia for today. He has that McCartney sound to him, doesn't he?
It sure does.
Yeah. Wow. Cool. The Lemon Pipers, I'll tell you what, they were formed in 1966 by student musicians from Oxford, Ohio, who had played the college bars in their previous groups that included the Wombats, Ivan and the Sabres, and Tony and the Bandits. The band played a mixture of blues, hard rock, and folk rock, with a few covers from the Byrds and the Who. They gigged regularly in Oxford at a place called the Boar's Head. Blues and Ivory played the Boar's Head years ago. And the Mug Club, and later the Ludlow Garage. Let's see. The original band existed as a quartet and then gained notoriety by reaching the finals in the Ohio Battle of the Bands at the Cleveland Public Auditorium in 1967, losing out to the James Gang.
Oh, wow.
Not bad.
Not bad.
All right. Right from little old Oxford, Ohio. How about that? I'm called the Rock and Roll Realtor because I play with the greatest classic rock band, Bluestone Ivory. You can hear us a week from tonight at the Sharonville VFW Hall, and that is from 7:30 to 11. Nonstop music. We're going to have some door prizes, chips and pretzels, cash bar, low drink prices, split the pot. Come on over. And you can go to our website, bluestoneIvory.com. our summer schedule is starting to fill up. We're going to be at Miami Valley Gaming, Bellevue, Kentucky, the Assumption of Mount Healthy, Liberty Center Township, Miami Arlington Memorial, Spring Grove. That's our cemetery tour this year. Weatherington will be a Weathering Country Club this year. Cold Springs, Kentucky, the second annual Remax Balloon Fest for Dragonfly. We got that on the books already, and list goes on and on. So go to bluesunivor.com. I have with me my guest, my special guest this morning is Mr. Richard Cox, Al's Comfort Technologies, 398-HEAT-4328. And we talked about how critical it is to have annual service versus no service. How about air returns in each room versus just one in the hallway?
All depends on the house. The smaller homes, single returns, plenty. Even with the larger homes, if you have one upstairs and one downstairs, you're okay as long as there's enough space underneath your doors. And usually I like oversized ducts into the bedroom if you're going to do that. But optimal is one cold air return in every bedroom.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah, it's the optimal.
When we're out looking at houses and I kind of look and I don't see those air returns, and I see a little vent in the hallway and new carpeting in the doors, I'm going, you might want to have Al's come out and just check this to make sure you're going to get the right kind of heating upstairs.
We find a lot of houses that are 15 to 20 years old have issues with heating and cooling second floors. In fact, that's what our specialty is, Gary. A lot of people don't realize this. We're retrofit. We're not new homes. We do custom new homes, but that's usually $500,000 homes and bigger.
Retrofit, explain what that means.
Retrofit is if you got a house 15, 20 years old and you need a new furnace and air conditioner put in or maintenance. We have ways, we have tricks to make it work without ripping walls out. There's different kinds of equipment. You can oversized blowers. You can use ECM motors and variable speed versus regular motors, and two-stage. We use the term help, not fix the problem, because the only way a lot of times to really fix the problem is rip walls out, and a lot of people don't want to spend $30,000 on taking down walls. But we can help. We can help go from a 10-degree difference upstairs to 3 to 4.
Okay,
which is tolerable.
Not to confuse your company with a company with the same.
Oh no! We have fun names for other companies retrofit is our specialty. So,
how about if you can't get natural gas and you really don't want to go the route with the heat pump because you hear all the negative reports about how it blows out cool air? Would you recommend oil or propane gas?
If you did propane or oil, either one, I highly recommend backing it up with a heat pump because of the cost of the fuel.
Or have the heat pump and back it up with the oil.
Yeah, back it up. Yes, back it up with the oil gas. You have to remember, you're a lot of people, when they talk about heat pumps, they think, oh, they're cold. Well, no, they're not cold until after it gets below freezing. Once they get below freezing, then your body temperature, and you're blowing, 100-degree air out of a vent, and it feels cool to you. I mean, it feels cool to the body. Even though it's heating the house up to 72,
right?
It still feels cool to the body blowing on you. So, but you can always back it up with a
and if you use them right, they're very efficient. You set the thermostat. You don't just crank it up and
set it and leave it alone. That's always been my my philosophy. Going up and down does nothing but put strain on a unit, and if you want to stand over a warm vent, then just get a space heater and stick it in your room, because you're burning the same amount of fuel.
And they have some very efficient little space heaters now too.
Yeah, I say that jokingly, Gary. I'm not a big fan of electric space heaters. They're very dangerous.
They are, yeah.
They're very dangerous. That's one of the biggest reasons for house fires.
Another thing you want to be very careful of is these gasoline generators.
Oh, absolutely.
When your power goes out in the storm season, a lot of people have these gasoline generators. Don't set them up in your garage or in your basement or something. That's just foolish,
They must be outside 10 feet away from the house.
You got to make sure that they've been serviced properly, and you got plenty of fuel for them too.
Exactly.
but they can be very helpful.
Yes. I'm a big fan of the natural gas generators. Those are a lot safer, and they're usually automatic, too.
Yeah. I helped a family sell a house in Sharonville. They had a natural gas backup generator system.
Or propane, or propane.
The moment your electric goes out, it automatically switches over, and boom.
Yes. You can have air, heat, your refrigerator stays on, and most of your, the essential lights.
Right. Thank you very much for coming down. You're a wealth of information, and I hope folks got something out of that. Let's see, Mike from Johnstown, Pennsylvania. He gets up and listens every Saturday morning. Thank you, Mike, for listening. We appreciate that. And the Mystics and 96 Tears was his guest for the One Hit Wonder, and he said, just give somebody else the gift card, so I'm going to give it to the Dragonfly Foundation.
Thank you very much. That's very kind.
So
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. We appreciate that. We need to go away for our last break. When we come back, we're going to spend a little bit of time with Bill Kerrigan and the Dragonfly Foundation. We got a lot of questions, a lot of updates. You're listening to the Rock and Roll Real Estate Hour on 1480 WDJO Cincinnati.
Al's Comfort Technologies is a small business with a big heart. Al's Comfort Technologies has serviced Mason and surrounding areas since 1958. Service is not just in their name, but it's number one in their minds. Al's Comfort Technologies. New fancy name, same great hometown service. Al's Comfort Technologies is a multiple winner of Angie's Super List Award. Al's Comfort
Phil, our new president of the Cincinnati Area Board of Realtors, is watching. Thanks, Phil. Appreciate that. Tell everybody about the show. Robert, Mark, Matt Hiker. Hey, Matt, you in New York? I think you were up in New York. Are you back in town? Eric, Amy, my daughter Amy. All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to plug you back into the studio feed, and we're going to wrap up this show. We're having a good time this morning.
Forever most popular, made from scratch, white cake with buttercream frosting, the best around. And since you're there, it's the perfect time to experience the wide variety of fresh, healthy homemade breads. German and onion rye breads, honey wheat, 9-grain wheat, crusty Italian, and delicious cinnamon bread. For over 70 years, the Weitzel family of North College Hill Bakery has been baking homemade, mouth-watering treats the old-fashioned way, so you don't have to. North College Hill Bakery, 1807 West Galbraith Road, 513-521-6760, 521-6760.
In winter, you can practically hear your skin changing. Drying out, flaking, tightening, becoming itchy, irritated, and inflamed. You need the fast relief of Cortisone 10 Intensive Healing Anti-Itch Cream. Unlike regular lotions, Cortisone 10 relieves itch and irritation with 1% hydrocortisone, the strongest non-prescription itch medicine, plus 7 healing moisturizers. With Cortisone 10, winter can just sound fun again. Cortisone 10. Feel the heal. Use as directed.
Why rent when you can own with no money down? If you're looking to become a first-time homeowner in the Cincinnati or Northern Kentucky areas, or heck, even if you haven't owned a home in the past 3 years and are now looking to buy, you may be eligible to receive up to $15,000 in homeowners assistance towards closing costs, pre-closing expenses, or even your whole down payment. That's right, you can own your own home with no money down. Find out if you qualify. Call Gary at 513-777-2402. That's Gary at 513-777-2402.
Get on. Let's rock the house.
Hey, we have been rocking and rolling this morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Gary Rossignol with RE/MAX Preferred Group, better known as Cincinnati's Rock and Roll Realtor. And you're listening to the Rock and Roll Real Estate Hour here on 1480 WDJO. Next in line, and this is the moment I really look forward to every week. I usually have the beautiful voice, the big-hearted lady with the gorgeous smile, her and her partner, Christine Knightsky, and that's Rhea Davidson. She's out of town, but she sent the number one, the best person I could think of to talk for the Dragonfly Foundation. His name is Mr. Bill Kerrigan. Hey, you're getting a standing ovation, Bill.
Already?
Yeah, how about that? Great. So, you were here about a month or so ago, and we had our Christmas show. Was that
great.
Fun?
Really fun.
Yeah. The kids just had a blast.
I had a blast.
I'm just so happy for that. Just makes me feel so good. Everybody chipped in. A lot of my sponsors came down. We had the musicians here, and just it's a madhouse.
A great morning.
If it wasn't for my wife, Mary Jo, and for Beth Bowling, my other partner in real estate, making sure everything just flowed okay. It'd be a nut house, but thank God they were all down here, and all my folks that were kind of down here that day. So you got involved in the Dragonfly Foundation, what, about a year ago?
Yep, I've been on board for about a year.
You do not have a dragonfly, actually.
I do not.
Right.
I do have a very good friend of mine who has a dragonfly daughter who's now in remission and doing very, very well.
Great.
But he actually got the call a number of years ago. His daughter wasn't feeling well. She came home the second day from school, wasn't feeling well. His wife was in China on a business trip.
Mm-hmm.
And so he took her to Children's, and they ran some tests, and he got a phone call later that evening and said, you need to pack a bag and get down here right away.
Wow.
We need to begin treatment this evening.
Yeah.
And one of the first people that he met when they got to Children's were the dragonflies.
Mm-hmm.
And they came in and they provided a lot of support to him. You know, his wife obviously had to get back from China, but he's there with a daughter and another one, and grappling with a child that had cancer.
Mm-hmm.
So what the Dragonfly Foundation does for, young people age birth through 30 and their families during that time of need where they're getting serious treatment is just amazing. To make the experience as good as possible for the patient, but also to support the family with everything from gift cards for food, bags full of supplies and things that they would need.
Gasoline cards.
Gasoline cards. So grocery cards, helping with lodging and things of that nature. It's just amazing work that Christine and Rhea and those people do.
Mm-hmm. And it just kind of happened was Christine's son, Matt,
That's right.
was the first dragonfly. And when he finally got over his bout and almost died a couple of times, and he got to walk out of Children's Hospital, they looked around, they saw all these other kids in there, and no support, no families, no friends, no
Right.
laptops, no games, no distractions. And they said, this isn't right.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
these are two ladies that had very successful careers in public relations, and they really dropped everything and went to work on this mission. It's become their mission in life.
Poured their heart out, yeah.
Unbelievable.
So we have some amazing, just amazing functions coming up here soon. One is coming up just in a couple of days. Tomorrow, actually. So if you're anywhere around the Back Porch Saloon, tap in there and take on the championship Sunday.
Yeah. So during the AFC and NFC championship games, this is just amazing. First of all, if you've never been to the Back Porch, great pub food.
Their owners are just wonderful.
Jimmy and his staff are just fantastic. And he's had that staff forever. They stay because it's a great place. But phenomenal burgers, the best wings you're going to find in town. And tomorrow, Jimmy and the staff are going to donate 5% of all their food sales. And then Jimmy and the Back Porch are also going to donate $1 per Rheingeist pint. Rheingeist is going to take over all the taps at the Back Porch Saloon. So you'll have, if you like the IPAs, they'll have the IPAs. They'll have the Cougar, which is an ale, and the Panther, and all the ones that you know. And then they'll have some seasonals as well.
Mm-hmm.
So for every pint, the Back Porch is going to donate $1, and Rheingeist is going to donate $2.
Okay.
So if you come by and just have a couple of beers and a burger, you're going to do a lot of good.
All right.
And again, if you haven't been to the Back Porch, you can't find a better place to watch football games.
If you want to help out the Dragonfly Foundation right now, ladies and gentlemen, get out your smartphone device, iPhone, iPad, whatever, and text the word WINGS15, WINGS 15, to 71777. That's going to open up a little envelope electronically that is very safe and secure. You can donate anywhere from $3, $30, $300, $3,000, whatever makes you feel good about helping out this very wonderful organization. They just do miracles, and the staff at Children's Hospital says they have changed the paradigm of medical of the delivery of what they do. I mean, they do all the medical stuff. Dragonfly doesn't do any of that. They just change the psyche. They make them feel better about themselves. So There you go. Wings 15 to 71777. Do that right now before you forget it. Bill, thank you very much for coming down. I appreciate that. You're such a great spokesperson for the Dragonfly Foundation.
Well, thanks, Gary, for what you do and all your support. It means a lot.
We need to wrap things up. Tune in next week. We'll have Doug and Steve with Rivertown Title. Coming up next is Tony Bender and Dane Donovan and the Car Tech Show. To wrap things up here is a one-hit wonder by the Ides of March, an early recording by Bluestone Ivory with the late, great Ted Donahue on guitar and vocals. Very fitting title to bring on the Car Tech Show. This song is called A Vehicle.
Great God in heaven, you know I love you. Well, if you wants to be a movie star, I'll take you to Hollywood. But if you want to stay just the way you are, I'm thinking that you really should. I'm your vehicle, baby. I'll take you anywhere you want to go. I'm your vehicle, woman. By now I'm sure you know that I love you. I need you. I want you. Got to have your child. Great God in heaven, you know I love you. Oh, you know I do. Hey, well, I'm a friendly stranger in the black sedan. Won't you hop inside my car? I got pictures, Kenny, I'm a lovable man. I'll take you to the nearest bar. I'm your vehicle, babe. I'll take you anywhere you want to go. I'm your vehicle, woman. By now I'm sure you know that I love you. I need you. I want you. Got to have you. Great God in heaven, you know I love you.
Hey folks, thanks for tuning in. I had to cut this short because I got to sign off and get ready for the Car Tech Show to come in. Besides, Facebook doesn't like when we play some, even though we have rights to play all these songs, they might flag my show and I have to go through some hoops to get it back on the Facebook. Anyhow.
Let me say goodbye to all my grandkids, especially Skylar. She called in. So.
All right, there you go. Thanks a lot, folks. We're going to sign out now.